You can improve your credit score by over 100 points in just one day, and I know because I've done it. Whether your score is hurting because of missed payments, collections, a ton of debt, or you're just new to credit, every strategy I'm covering will maximize your credit score, and you can do it all in just one day. To start your day, the first thing you're going to do is visit or call a family member or trusted friend who has good credit and ask to become an authorized user on their credit card. If they're confused about why you'd want to do that, you can explain why it's a good idea. When you become an authorized user on someone else's credit account, your credit score benefits from every on-time payment the primary cardholder makes. This means you're also benefiting from their credit history, even if you're not the one making payments. If you can't think of anyone to ask, don't worry, skip to step 2. But don't skip step 3 because it raised my credit by over 100 points. Okay, so because you're not opening a new line of credit yourself, you avoid a hard inquiry and that new account ding to your credit score that sends it even lower. And you also don't affect their credit score either, even if yours is much lower. So this is costing you and the original user nothing. And yet you're getting a nice boost to your credit score. How much of a boost? Well, it's hard to say, because it's going to have a lot to do with the credit history of the primary cardholder and your current credit score. For me, I saw a boost of 30 points on my next credit report, but it might be much higher or lower for you. So boom, after a 10-minute phone call, you could be an authorized user and your credit score is rising. But we still have more to do today. So for step 2, I'm opening my laptop and applying for a secured credit card, which is made for people to build or improve their credit. This step was extremely helpful when my credit score was super low. A secured card is a type of credit card that requires you to deposit cash up front as collateral before using it. And if you're thinking, isn't that just a debit card? So did I. So let me explain in more detail how this works. This is Roger. Roger needs to improve his credit score. But to do that, Roger needs to get a credit card and make consistent payments. But there's a problem. He can't get a credit card because his credit score is too low. Instead, he gets a secured credit card, puts up $500 as collateral, and as a result, gets access to a $500 line of credit. Of course, like normal credit cards, secured cards still have high interest rates. But if Roger pays on time with his secured credit card, he'll be bumping up his credit score, which wouldn't happen if he just used his debit card instead. Using a secured credit card could boost your credit score by as much as 30 points in just 6 months. And all you have to do is sign up today. But before we move on to the next part of the day, hit subscribe so you don't miss our next video where we cover the best loans to help pay off credit card debt. Now for step 3, it's time to potentially boost your credit score by over 100 points. And that's by disputing errors on your credit report. And don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds, and it's what gave me the biggest credit score boost. First things first, go to annualcreditreport.com and get your free credit report. And you're going to look for 3 main types of errors. The first is accounts marked as delinquent or late when they were actually paid on time. The second thing you'll look for in the credit report is that the same account isn't listed more than once. If this happens, the credit bureaus will think you're carrying more debt than what you actually have, and it will affect your utilization ratio, which we'll talk more about later. And the last thing you'll want to look out for is your debt balance being higher than it actually is. So if you have $2,000 left on a loan, make sure the report isn't showing something like $2,500 or more. Once you've got any mistakes highlighted, contact the credit agencies directly and let them know about the errors. They're legally required to investigate and respond in under a month. And if you have a collection mark on your report, there is a way to get it off. I'll tell you how in this video, and that's another way you can boost your credit score by over 100 points, but it might take longer than one day. Step 4 is to increase your credit limit. Now, there are 2 main ways to increase your limit. You either apply for more credit cards or you just ask the bank to increase your current credit line. I raised my credit by updating my income, which was much lower when I got right out of college. I used to think it was just the bank being nosy and collecting more information about me, but updating this info could help increase your credit limit. So why are we doing this? Well, If approved, you will lower your credit utilization rate. This is the percentage of your total available credit that you're currently using. It's a very important factor for your credit score, making up about 30% of your score. Say you're spending $1,000 a month on your credit card, which has a limit of $10,000. Your credit utilization rate is 10%, but if they boost your limit to $20,000, you're only using 5%. If you lower your utilization ratio from 10 to 2%, you could see a boost by a few points. But the bigger the change, the bigger the effect on your score. So if your current rate is super high, like 50 or 75% high, and you drop it down below 30, you could see a 40 to 60 point boost to your credit score. But if you're having a hard time keeping up with this debt, step 5 is a trick that will lower your credit score without having extra money. When it comes to your monthly credit card payments, it can get confusing. You usually have a minimum payment, a statement balance, a payment due date, and a statement closing date. But for now, I want to focus on your statement balance. A statement balance is the total amount that you owe on your credit card at the end of your billing cycle. And when it comes time to pay your credit card bill, you need to pay off your statement balance in full, or any leftover amount will start taking on interest. Your statement balance is also what is used to calculate your utilization ratio. Say your credit limit is $1,000 and your statement balance at close is $500. That's a 50% utilization, and a big red flag to the credit bureaus. But this is where the statement closing date comes into play. If your statement ends on the 15th of the month, you can lower your statement balance by making your payments on the 14th. So if you make a payment of $450 the day before closing, your statement balance drops to $50, which is only 5% utilization. And you're not even spending more. You're just shifting when you pay. So not only could you boost your credit score by 10, 20, or even 50 points, but it can help you minimize your credit card debt and save thousands in interest. By the way, if credit card debt is a problem for you, you're gonna wanna watch this video on the best ways to pay off credit card debt. Okay, step 6, the last task of the day, but don't worry, you don't have to do anything. It's just time for a word of warning. The warning is, avoid opening too many accounts at once. And it's one of the most common reasons folks have a low credit score. Every new credit card or loan can lower your score by about 5 to 10 points due to the hard inquiry. Plus, each new account you open shortens your average credit age, which is another big factor in your score. And I should mention that if you become an authorized user on a credit card for someone with a longer credit history, like a parent or spouse, their history will add to the length of your credit account age and raise your score. If you're new to credit, this could be a big boost. Now, this doesn't mean never open any new accounts long term, because they will help raise your credit limits and lower your utilization. Just please remember to pace yourself. And also remember to watch this video, things to do after getting approved for a loan. Trust me, it's great. Also, if you're in an emergency and need cash fast, you can try CreditNinja.com with same-day payouts. Over 275,000 happy customers, great reviews on Trustpilot. They're a fast, trusted option when you need money now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.